What's up, everybody? It's time for another Talking Comics with me, Right Agenda. Today I'm going to go over the new comics of the week. It's Wednesday, so new comic book day. These are the ones that made me drive down to the comic book store. Comic Book College in Roseville. I had everything I was looking for. Number one comic I had to get today was Venom 259 with a very awesome cover of female Venom. As covered in my last video. She has finally embraced that Mary Jane is Venom, and she's going with her female form. Let's see how she gets over her first casualty. She's still not sure if it was Mary Jane or Venom that took out Torment in the Death Spiral storyline, so I'm definitely curious to read the next issue, where it's going from here. Is Mary Jane gone to the dark side? Is Venom really taking control? Who's actually in charge? Even though they say they're working together, Mary Jane's like 20% maybe I dropped him. Venom's like maybe it was 80% me, but there's no way to know for sure. So I'm definitely curious where this storyline's going to go in the future. The next comic book I had to get is Predator Bloodshed 5. This is the end of a miniseries. Lately, Marvel has been doing a bunch of these miniseries from the Fox Studio universe. They have an Aliens comic book. This is a Predator miniseries. They've had like Predator versus Spider-Man, Predator versus Wolverine miniseries. They had a Predator versus Black Panther. They had Aliens versus Captain America. Those are all pretty crazy comic books. I can go over them if you want. So, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I definitely had to go out and get the end of this miniseries because so far I have really been liking what they've been doing with the Predator specifically. I haven't read too much of the Aliens. That's kind of a newer one, but I've always liked Predator. So had to make sure I went out and got issue number 5, the last of the miniseries. Another big issue that came out today is Ultimate Finale number 1. Well, it's just going to be a special one-shot. Marvel had a Ultimate Universe early in the 2000s. They kind of put the characters in like modern times at the time. So like in that version of the Ultimate Universe, Peter Parker wasn't a photographer for the Daily Bugle. He was like their web designer or something like that. This newer version of the Ultimate Universe is actually one where like no superheroes were allowed to be were in this universe. I can go in a lot more depth about it. It's kind of definitely interesting, but this is kind of the end of this big 2-year storyline that they're doing. So I had to make sure I went out and got the final part of the universe. And then this was the other comic book that came out today, Shredder number 9. Excuse me. This is probably actually my favorite comic book series going right now. You'd never think a comic book about Shredder, the villain of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, would be the best comic book. But honestly, this has been great. I wasn't really sure what I was expecting. I was like, everyone knows Shredder the Turtles, so I had to check it out. And I was like, this is great. This is my favorite comic book. In my next episode, I'm probably going to go over one of the crazier scenes I've seen recently. So this is a spoiler warning for one of my subscribers, Sir Rick. You've been warned. You have to read Shredder number 5, or I'm going to spoil it in the next episode. So so I'm probably going to go over this series more in depth. Obviously, I haven't read number 9. I just got back from the store. I just want to show it off. I'll be reading this probably sooner than later, and like I said, maybe I'll be talking about my next episode on Fridays, because I've been trying to do a Wednesdays and Fridays episodes. The other issue that stuck out to me, and that I've kind of talked about on this channel before, so I wanted to show it off. Here are the Magic card covers that I was talking about. This particular one is Wolverine. I'm always a fan of Wolverine, so I'm going to get their new issue. Look like there's a big fight scene inside. But yeah, I wanted to go over how I've kind of mentioned that the comic book covers right now. Wolverine claws out. It's got its summoning cost, flavor text. Try to do it here. I don't necessarily know if we need to read it out loud for everybody, but here's a good shot if you want to read it yourself. I honestly figured Wolverine would get like a better than 2.5. Think he does more damage, and you'd think his healing factor would be better. They did have a Hulk one as well. He was like an 8/8, so that actually made sense for Hulk. And every time he damaged, if he's not killed, you get a +1/+1 counter on him. I used to play Magic back in the late 90s, and then I kind of had a resurgence in 2016, but I really don't know a whole lot about them. But I did, so I took out the card, and I did show my brother-in-law, who does play Magic. He doesn't play it as much as he used to, but he's still into it. So I took the card out of the bag, let him see it. He said it seemed like a decently powerful card. I was curious if if these types of cards that come in promotional things are actually legal to use. But he said, yeah, like this, I could, if I had a bunch of Magic cards still, I could throw this into a deck and then play with it. So that was pretty cool. The next thing I want to go over, this is kind of a PSA to my friends who watch my channel who like to ask me in person about Comics Giveaway Day. They don't comment about it, of course, but so I want to go over what the actual Comics Giveaway comics look like. So here's the alien I was talking about. It actually says Comics Giveaway Day up in the top, and then for the price it says, seems like it's easier on this side, 0.00. So you go on the first weekend of May, you could pick up this comic book. I also got the Spider-Man one, Spider-Man, Venom, Queen in Black. It's kind of a mini series. Then the series they're going to go through. And then this was the Avengers Comics Giveaway Day. That is actually the same. It's the same as the card. So yeah, these are the actual, they all say Comics Giveaway Day. These are just the ones from Marvel. Every company has their own like issues for this. It used to be called Free Comic Book Day, but apparently an old comic book distributor trademarked that name, so now they've all changed to this Comics Giveaway Day. So yeah, I just want to show that's officially what they look like. Those are the only ones that are free that actually have the the price tag of 00. Yeah, it's right up there. Sorry for the glare. And then the last thing I want to talk about in this particular episode is I want to go back to some X-Men lore. I had a recent comment about how Storm was one of a favorite character of someone, so I wanted to go into probably a littler known fact that the artist who originally created Storm for this giant-sized X-Men, which is a fairly popular one. This is where the new band of X-Men came together with Storm, Wolverine, Cyclops, Colossus, Thunderbird, and Nightcrawler. The artist is Dave Cockrum. He originally had the idea to have Storm be a character called the Black Cat, who is literally a cat. You can see it looks like very cat-like eyes as they that was his original idea for the character. The problem was at the time there was other female Marvel characters like Tigra that were coming out, so they thought a character called the Black Cat was a little redundant. So what the artist did was he merged a different character he had called Typhoon, who had weather powers, into the Black Cat character Storm. So it was really Storm's design, and then it was actually a male character's powers got merged together and got the Storm we all know, Aurora Monroe. But I thought that was pretty interesting that she actually was originally designed to be like a cat-like creature. And then for the next episode, I'm also going to talk about of all these X-Men characters I just mentioned, one of them was actually originally designed to be a character for DC's Legions of Tomorrow, Legions of the 31st Century or something like that. So let me know in the comments below which of these characters do you think was actually originally supposed to be a DC character that they rejected and the artist came over and threw them in their X-Men comic book. So yeah, I hope you liked that episode. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. But for now, I'm done with this conversation.